Hey everyone, thank you. You caught me putting lipstick on or touching up my lipstick for this series. So, listen, we are back with this is part four of transitioning from religion to spirituality without the fear or threat of hellfire and brimstone. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Tamra Tamu Collective where dreams have no filter. So, I it occurred to me actually that maybe I could have given a very simplified definition or definition of what I deem to be spiritual or what spirituality means. So, if you have listened to me for a while or watched me for a while, you know that what I believe spirituality is when we look in the mirror. That's it. Spirituality is us. Our life experience is spiritual. There is no separation. But to give a simplified definition, from my perspective, spirituality is simply a practice that you infuse into your life that reminds you that you are more than this physical body. And I'll also add that, and some people may disagree with me, that you do have some control over what happens in your life, over what happens to the people that you love and care about. All right? And that could probably be another series in itself, but we'll put that on the shelf for a minute. And so let's get back into the series. So, we've been talking about the phases that you could go through. And again, these phases are things that I have experienced. Some of these phases are presenting themselves again. Fine, whatever. We'll deal with it. So, one of the phases that you could experience is the difficulty in embracing your freedom, moving out of religion. So, religion creates a standard for you. Oftentimes, that standard will be a framework or a paradigm, I will say, that is rigid with no room for fluidity, no room for any type of flow, no room for any type of ease, no room for stepping outside of a line, because that's really what the paradigm is. They are lines, oftentimes, we'll just say a box. I wouldn't even look at religion as a maze, because even with a maze, you can move, right? You can move somewhat, maybe not a whole lot, but you can move a little bit, okay? You can move with the idea that there is an exit. But religion has a way of saying, this is a box and you can't move. And if you try to move, then you're going to be placed in a even smaller box. Because if you try and move, then you'll be ostracized. Because my favorite phrase that I would hear is, "You're not believing in God enough," or "You're not doing enough to show yourself worthy of even being in the religion." So what happens is, and here's the interesting part about that, is that when you have said, okay, I am moving out of this and I'm embracing my freedom, first, what that does is it puts you into a new way of existing and being in the world. It takes you from familiarity, a comfort zone that not only has your mind and your thoughts been used to, but your body and how your body feels has been used to as well. You took on an identity and your body took on an identity as well, took on that same identity. So what do I mean by that? And I'm going to break this down the best way that I can. When I say familiarity, when I say what we're used to, when I say comfort zone, that does not equate to feeling good. It does not equate to comfort being, oh, this feels peaceful. Comfort and familiarity does not equate to ease. So just understand, when I say that, I'm not talking about comfort in a way that makes us just feel at ease and at inflow, or just really at ease. That's it. That does not equate. So our body gets used to rigidity. Our body gets used to discomfort. Our minds, our intellect, our ego tells us, well, in order for you to take an action, you better ask someone. You better make sure that this is okay. This doesn't seem right. You better make sure you know the next step. Otherwise, this could happen. So your mind, it's almost like you're getting all of these threats which keep you from taking, and I won't even say a risk, but taking that next inspired action toward the vision that you have, which was to embrace more freedom. Which included, if you're watching this series, which included taking off the garment of a religion, of religiosity. So then, while you're out here, first being excited about your freedom, and you're moving through this journey, you're appreciating that there's more to you than this physical body, to appreciate the power of your words, to appreciate your imagination, to appreciate how your soul wants to be expressed, then all of a sudden your body says, and your mind says, and your body says, well, no, no, no. This feels too comfortable. This feels too easy. Then your body says, oh, wait a minute. We're used to asking people what we should do next. We're used to knowing the next step. So no, 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 we can't make a decision. We can't move. We can't take action. So you see how that's all intertwined. Also, religion within that paradigm will give you, I'll call it a strategy. It'll give you a strategy. It'll give you step by step. You do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. Step one through, we'll just say 1 through 5. And you have to go step 1, you have to go to step 2, you have to go to step 3, and it has to be in that order. There is no deviation. You cannot jump from 1 to 5. Cannot do that. Goes against something or somebody or some people. And then our body gets used to that. So then, for example, if we're looking at our vision, and on our vision board, it is to, so let's say we have an online business and we want to open up a physical space. Well, because we don't know the next steps, then, our body says, well, why are you even going out looking at spaces? This feels this feels uncomfortable, because again, religion says we have to know every single step. Religion gives you a step rather than you getting used to tapping into your intuition, which, to me, when you talk about a spiritual practice, that is part of practicing spirituality, is tapping into your intuition. So those are the types of things that can happen when you start to experience that difficulty in embracing that freedom, where you find yourself retreating and wanting to go back. Your intellect and your ego wants to go back to that security blanket, but your soul is saying, no, we've moved beyond that. So now we're on our way to experiencing more. Let's stay where we're at. And I want to offer, I normally don't do this because when it comes to offering tips, at the end of the day, you have to find your own way of doing things. And so I will just offer these tips because this is what has helped me when that difficulty comes back up. What I do is I remember all those questions that I had when I was in a church, when I was part of a religion, and I go back to asking those questions again. And then more questions will come up, because what that does, it expands your mind. You start to ask questions. You start to ask the right questions. And then the synchronicities just start to appear. It's actually quite magical, okay? And then also, I would encourage you, if you don't already, to journal, because writing is freedom. This is not about grammar, using the right grammar, but just allowing the words to just flow through you. Just allowing your soul, your spirit to take control of the pen. Just write, just write. And also, just watching your conversation. You don't have to tell everyone what's happening in your life, the expansion that you are experiencing. Sometimes you have to keep that to yourself. And also, look at your vision. Keep that at the forefront because your vision came from somewhere. Keep that there. That vision, that is how your soul is telling you, this is how this is how my higher self wants to be expressed in this life, in this physical life. So, thank you for watching. Tune in next time as we'll talk about another phase that will come up as you move from religion to spirituality. So, until then, cheers.